Something I've dealt with many times during this minimalist journey was questioning whether I'm taking this too far. It's not that I'm exactly questioning my decision to live with less, it's just how much less is the right amount. I had to ask myself when the right time to stop decluttering was, and am I just decluttering at this point because it's satisfying? But first, before I get started, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like and consider subscribing. Let's get started. I'm just going to go over a few signs that may have been flags that I've been taking minimalism a little too far. And the first way is it became more of a burden rather than a simple way of living. When I think about one of the main reasons I wanted to embrace minimalism so much, it's to live more simply and with less complications. And I knew the second that any of that changed, I wasn't doing it right. Now, thankfully, I caught this very early on and I saved myself from possibly decluttering things I might have regretted. To be honest, getting rid of my bed frame still seems a little extreme, even for me, but when I step back and think about it, I just don't understand why. Why is having a bed just a few inches off the ground considered normal, and having it on the floor not? This is just an example of how what I've been told is normal and isn't normal has affected my opinion on some things, and I'm trying to go about it unbiased. So I asked myself, would getting rid of my bed frame be considered extreme if everybody lived without one? And then I thought a little bit more about it and remembered that it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks about it. It just matters how I feel about it. I became a minimalist to live with a clutter-free mind and space. And like I said, once any of that changes, I'm not doing it right. The second way I thought I might be taking this too far was when I was passing on what I actually wanted. Part of being a human means wanting things, and that hasn't changed even after adopting minimalism. I can certainly say the quality and quantity of the things I want has changed, but not the overall want itself. I can recall many times after becoming a minimalist, I passed on things I really needed or wanted just for the sake of owning as little as possible. And it's so silly to think back on, and in retrospect, it's just as bad as me hoarding a bunch of things I don't need. Depriving myself of something that might make me a little happier or make my life a little bit easier just for the sake of having a little extra space or a little extra money in my wallet. There's a very popular saying out there called skip the latte, and the saying revolves around the idea of skipping your daily coffee and saving $3 or $5 over the course of the year, saving a lot of money. Yes, every person who's ever told you about saving money has talked about skipping Starbucks or skipping part of your daily routine. And I'm very torn on this because while in previous videos I've talked about breaking expensive and addictive habits, but I believe there's a fine line between deprivation and discipline. When I think about which side I take on this debate, I think about the person who is potentially saving thousands of dollars over the year, or I think about the person who that coffee just makes them that much happier throughout the day and just changes their mood for the day. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into that. I'll let you guys decide how you feel about the latte in the comments. I just wanted to use that as an example to talk about not depriving myself of things that make me happy, just to own less. It was when I became obsessed with the idea of owning as little as possible, rather than just the essentials. I could say I don't have this problem now. Everything I recently purchased has been thought about thoroughly before buying it. Most of my recent purchases have been for the benefit of my videos, and I haven't regretted them for a second. And the final way I thought I might be taking minimalism too far is when it was all I thought about. I feel like this goes without saying, but the idea of anything consuming all of my thoughts just seems unhealthy. And the same thing is true about minimalism. I feel like minimalism is optimized and used to its full potential when it's used alongside something that you like to do anyways, when it helps you focus on what actually matters. I guess one could say that you're mastering minimalism when it just becomes what you do rather than what you think about all the time, and when it becomes your new normal. I do feel like most of what I do is done in the way of a minimalist, but I'm not thinking about it so much anymore. That being said, I do occasionally reflect on this journey and remember how it got me where I am today and where I'm going. I guess my point in saying all this is that just like everybody has their own definition of minimalism, we're all going to have our own definition of taking minimalism too far. It's only when we start to ask ourselves the questions like, am I passing on what I want, or am I decluttering what I actually need, will we know that it might be going too far. Anyways, as always, I appreciate your time watching this video. If you did like it and you do like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.